Afenifere leader Oba Oladipo Olaitan blast Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's get to it. You are 3 years old in Aso Rock today, and I am too old not to tell Nigerians the truth. You are a monumental failure. Oba Oladipo Olaitan has explained why Nigerians through the ballot must, as a matter of urgency, replace the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led government in 2027, or be faced with a more worsened man-made plagues if Tinubu is re-elected, he said. The country has been bleeding since APC came to power, and the bleeding is now worst under President Tinubu, who seems to be clueless in security matters and every economic parameters that can improve lives of citizens. Let's call a spade a spade. He has failed woefully. Worsening insecurity across the country has left citizens living in fear. Our people can no longer sleep with both eyes closed because of the unrelenting wave of insecurity, banditry, kidnapping, terrorism, and communal clashes that have turned farmlands into killing fields and turned hope into fears, he said. At the same time, the economy has been brought to its knee. Prices of basic goods have gone beyond the reach of ordinary families. Our youth roam the street without jobs. Our farmers and traders struggle daily just to survive, he stated. As we are all aware, Tinubu's government breaks any identifiable opposition into fractious factions, while destroying the very basis of the multi-party system that brought him to power, because he knows he has failed woefully and afraid of defeat despite having 36 governors as we speak. It is only fools or religious sycophants that will say the suffering of many Nigerians is an act of God. It is the direct result of Tinubu's total lack of knowledge and his weak economic team's wrong choices, and of neoliberal economic policies that put market forces and elite comfort above welfare of people. Tinubu was never prepared to be president. He just wants to be president. Vote him out. After all, 80% of the voters never voted for him in 2023. He added. Oba Oladipo Olaitan, Afenifere leader. Now, this is for you to know that we still have good people in Yoruba land. There are many of them. It's just that the little rotten eggs amongst us are the ones that are being propelled to push propaganda online. All right. But before I wrap up this video, all right, and this is the picture of the Oba that spoke out gallantly. All right, Kábíyèsí Oba Oladipo Olaitan Baba kemi gun korin kese emi agun epe fún wa baba eku agbaṣe. Now my question is, I want to refer to the most prominent king in Yoruba land, Oba Enitan Adeyeye Ogunwusi Ọ̀jájá ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì di Ọọ̀ni of Ife. Kábíyèsí Ọọ̀ni of Ife, I'm referring to you, Kábíyèsí. Under Muhammadu Buhari, you spoke out. You spoke out. Yes, but now it has become our brother. Our brother is the one there. We cannot criticize no matter how bad the country has become. Yes, Kábíyèsí, kade pẹ́ lórí kí bàtà pẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀. Ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ adókínì àṣẹ apẹ́ lẹ́nu kọrin kése. Kábíyèsí, ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ sókè. It is said that silence is golden. Kábíyèsí, your silence on this matter, the insecurity in this country, the kidnapping of school children, beheading of teachers in Ogbomoso, your silence is no longer appreciated. Your silence is no longer golden. It is now rusty. Kábíyèsí, it is high time you speak out. Speak. You are not called the Arole Oòduà for nothing, Kábíyèsí. You are referred to as the direct descendant of Oduduwa. You are like a father to all of us in Yoruba land. Why are you mute? Your silence is no longer appreciated. Kábíyèsí, speak up. The people want to hear you talk. My name is K Baba. For everything I've said here today, no apology to anybody.
President Goodluck Jonathan was allegedly weak and incompetent, but his beatified legacy is anchored on his famous refrain, "My ambition is not worth the blood of any Nigerian," end of quote. By this simple utterance of Goodluck Jonathan, and also for voluntarily relinquishing power, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan earned his seat in the pantheon of decent and honorable leaders of the world. Can same be said of Yoruba's new idol, who before the glare of the world is destroying every sacred institution that underpins a society that is governed by laws and justice? A man with such debauched vainglory, who requires a symphony of sycophants to titillate his oversized ego and self-worth with a useless chorus of mendacious inanity. What else, besides the branded cap and arrant buffoonery in government, what else do we have that we can recommend to future generations? For 3 years now, no dent recorded, not even a pretense to solving the following existential crisis bedeviling this country: out of school children, maternal and infant mortalities, chronic hunger and misery, electricity failure, rampant poverty, unemployment and insecurity. Nothing has been done on any of this beyond showboating. Let me be upfront with every Yorubas, wherever you are on this earth. If you are among those cheerleading this error and stain on our collective reputation and history, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I know some of you have lost the capacity for shame, so I am ashamed on your behalf, especially that I share kinship with you loathsome lot. You have been sucked in to believe the egregious heresies that raw power, illicit money, lawlessness, brigandage, cruelty, and barbarism, is tantamount to being a master strategist. How sad. And so I ask again, who bewitched you? Who bewitched us? Yorubas, who bewitched you? Well, history is a great tutor, gentle and kind to the wise, but harsh and brutal, especially to the foolish. History shines its light on pitfalls and quicksands, which the wise avoids, but the foolish in their folly are consumed. History is replete with stories of the rise and falls of nations, oftentimes instigated by crooked and power-drunken idiots. Germany was a great nation of even greater people with a mightily rich history, but the Germans fell in love with a lunatic and megalomaniac who seduced a great and proud people into bigotry, racism, sectarianism, lawlessness, mindless barbarism, corruption, global warfare, and record-setting genocide. The same Germans who gave the world George Friedrich Handel, Ludwig van Beethoven, Johann Sebastian Bach, Johannes Brahms, Richard Wagner, etc., etc. Great musical composers, classical musical composers. Yet, this same Germany, although has recovered from the physical and economic devastation of the Second World War, but can the stain of millions cremated alive in Auschwitz, Srebrenica, etc., can this stain ever be erased? The answer is a big no. So, as I wrap up, I return to the verse of scripture which says, "Do not remove the ancient landmarks which your fathers have set." End of quote. Proverbs 22:28. Olusegun Obasanjo was a decorated war general and former military dictator. Yet, as civilian president, his vice, Atiku Abubakar, took him to court 11 times, and Obasanjo lost the 11 times. Yet, he never stripped the judiciary of their venerated cloak of independence or impartiality. Yorubas, can we think and return to the path of our great ancestors set for us? Can we just think? Can we have some moments of self-introspection? This present-day band of political mercenaries are merely vagabonds in power. Apologies to Fela Anikulapo Kuti. These people lack basic noble human values of discipline, integrity, honor, sobriety, compassion, empathy, respect for rules and regulations, and time-honored traditions and conventions. They are not Omoluabis, and damn it, they do not represent who we are. They do not. This set of, buccaneers, these bandits in power do not represent who we are. They don't. I hope and pray we can retrace our steps urgently, and when this season of anomy is over, we can purge ourselves of the poison in our system.
President Tinubu has failed to secure Nigerians, and I am wondering what he would say to Nigerians when he now begins to campaign for 2027. Because clearly he has absolutely nothing to say to us that will assure us that if we give him another 4 years, he will secure this country. What he couldn't do in the last 3 years, when things are not as bad as they are now, I cannot see this president do anything better rather than getting it worse. If he can, let's see what he will do between now and say November, December, and January. And I can tell you in advance, nothing. Rather than address the core of the problem, he just appointed a special advisor on Homeland Security. What does that mean? What is Homeland Security? What about all this army of institutions and structures and systems that we have on the ground? Clearly, that's an admission of failure. This man, no matter how good he is going to have to operate either under a whole layer of systems and structures and people and institutions that have failed, or he's going to have to create his own structure. And that merely just compounds the problem. So there's no clear thinking. There appears to be a resignation on the part of government that Nigeria has to live with this. And we have to ask the question, why would Tinubu ask Nigerians to re-elect him again? This is the same president that said, if I don't give you power in 4 years, don't vote for me. There's no power. We have less power now than we had when he was in. Now, we are more insecure than when he came to power. On what basis are we going to vote for this man? Just because he's the president and he says, vote for me so that I can have 8 years? 8 years of disaster? Is that what you're asking Nigerians to go through? And I know in 2027, I lead a party that is saying to Nigerians, say no. No. This is our country, sir, and we have suffered enough.
Sir, thank you for your opening remarks. Both the president, in fact, it was the Senate president first, who said it in his characteristic jocular manner, because everything to the Senate president seems to be, he finds everything to be funny. You know, no matter how dire the situation is, he tries to make light of every serious situation. So he said, he guarantees Nigerians that 2 weeks after next year's presidential election, insecurity will taper out or just peter out.
Weeks.
Yeah, he said it. He said it will just.
Are you sure he wasn't joking?
That's what I said, because you don't know when he is serious or when he's joking. Now, the president also in an interview recently, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, said it is politicians, his opponents that are using insecurity. They want to scare me off, and that he's a Lagos boy, he's a strong man, he does not get scared easily.
And I'm a very patriotic Nigerian. I am committed to the peace and security of this country. I am law-abiding, and I really, really detest, I hate our circumstances. I grew up in a country, I'm 72 now, I grew up in a great country that made every challenge and solved and dealt with it. I lived in a country, I was old enough to see the genesis of the Civil War, the entire execution of the war, and the incredible method of healing that took place immediately after it. I saw a great country with a great promise, and I saw waste and abuse and decline that I would have sworn 20 years ago was impossible. If the Senate president did say that 2 weeks after the election, Nigerians will see a secure country, then it leaves only one conclusion. Either he wasn't in his senses when he said that, or they are genuinely playing with our insecurity in order to win an election. What are you waiting for? Why do we need to wait until 2 weeks after an election? And what happens if you lose that election? Are they even thinking of the possibility that they could actually lose that election? You know, we had a president who lost an election, and the heavens didn't fall. So why do we wait? Why do we have to wait? That's why when you mention this thing, because this is the first time I'm hearing it, that the Senate president said wait until 2 weeks, within 2 weeks after the election. So in other words, they are now trading votes for our security. Give us votes, and we'll give you security. In other words, what they're doing now is withholding our security and playing with it as an electoral asset. That is the most irresponsible thing anybody could say, not even do, to say, the number 3 citizen of the country, to say to Nigerians, If you vote for us, in 2 weeks you'll be secure. First, with all due respect, I would say he's lying. There's no way you can resecure a country in 2 weeks. Because if you can, this is the time to fix it. 2, he's a poor politician. The most important thing President Tinubu or APC and this administration can do is to secure Nigeria now. Now. Not wait until you win an election. Number 3, by the time we have this election, Nigerians would have been so fed up with an administration that just rolls out press statements, Americans have killed some ISWAP leader, this one has done this one has done this. The second part of the question about blaming politicians, again, is pathetic. This is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria with the entire array of access to information. If you know a politician in this country or politicians who are using insecurity to demarcate you, to make you unpopular, why don't you pick them up? They are holding a Rufai now on the grounds that he said that he knows someone who was bugging Nurubadu's phone. That is 1,000,000 times less than a president himself, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, with intelligence, with security, everything, saying my enemies are at play. It's my political enemies that are causing this problem. If he said that, then it shows that President Tinubu has completely lost touch with the realities in this country. Because I don't see how you would be president in charge of our security. You swore on the 29th of May 2023 that you protect Nigerians. You have failed to do that. And now you're saying, oh, it was my enemies that have done that. In what way? If he's talking about criticisms, then I'm sorry for him. Nigerians will criticize him because that's his job to secure us. If he's saying that to find excuses, then I'm sorry, that is the lamest excuse you can find. If he's saying that because he has evidence, then it is irresponsible of the president not to move against those people. Enemies or not enemies, any Nigerian who is compounding our insecurity, whether he's in government or outside the government, is an enemy of the people, and it is the responsibility of this administration to deal with it.
All those of you supporting Tinubu, believing that he will win in 2027, no, based on what? As how? See, if you want to be very honest to yourself, tell me, in whichever gathering have you ever been involved and you see the people around there talking positive of this administration? There is none. Never have I been in a place where I see people talking well, talking positive, talking good of Tinubu and this administration. Everybody is lamenting. Everybody is crying. Everybody is facing one hardship on the other with the blame on this man. So how is he going to win? The people obviously don't like him and they don't want him. Obviously. So I saw this video. I think this video was on the Children's Day in Lagos, where people were made to wait inside the sun. They were not allowed to cross because they said Tinubu was about to pass. You can listen to what the people were saying. I don't know if you have seen the video because the video is actually trending. But if you've not seen it, I will show it to you now. Just listening to the citizens, what they were saying about their president.
This is totally rubbish. She's not patient. Are you expecting us to stand beside her because of that stupid man? Please.
He's going now. He will soon pass now. Mona is a patient.
See this one, they do parade. See. Now that thing go kill you. And we are under the sun. See. Now what thing go kill you? See them. And we are under the sun. Under the sun. See. Stupid Nigerians. See the stupid man.
What the way they happen for this?
Yeah. Stupid man. My God will punish you. Idiot man. Wind down if he shout for you. Stupid man. Only one person, though. See one person. My God will punish you. you? Idiots. Sorry, Nigeria, put it aside. I'm going to punish her. We don't stand under the sun for this. Now,
So did you see that and you heard the citizens raining insult and abuses on the man you are expecting they will vote for? No, I don't get it. Right at the front, at the presence of the security agency and law enforcement agency, they are insulting the hell out of the man because he has so much impoverished the people. The hunger, the torment is like never seen before. So is these same people that we vote for this man? No, I don't get it. Let them rely on that their normal reggae. They think it will be a business as usual. No, it will not be. Everybody is angry. Since Tinubu would not govern properly and he's insisting that he will not go, and APC felt as large as their party, Tinubu is the best candidate, the most qualified. It's all right. Nigerians are waiting for you. They will vet. Bring your money to come and share. Bring your rice to come and share. You will still lose. You guys lost in 2023, obviously. But for one reason or the other, you people took Nigerians from behind, took us unaware. We were made to believe that INEC will conduct a free election. Result will be transmitted in real time. We left everything to the fraudulent INEC and we caught off guard. It will not be like this in 2027. 2023 will not repeat in 2027. APC, no this and no peace. But if you insist that you're going to announce the result, you're going to write. It's all right. Let's wait and see how it goes. But one thing is sure, you see these angry citizens out there will definitely not, under consciousness, vote for their tormentor to continue tormenting them.
Good day to our viewers all over the world and welcome back to Local Journal. If not for the fact that APC are so shameless, they won't be thinking of contesting come 2027. The APC has failed Nigeria in all entirety and there is nothing remaining of them. There is nothing whatsoever remaining of them that they can say they want to prove to Nigerians that they are capable and competent of taking Nigeria to the promised land. They've shown that they are incompetent. They've shown that they cannot lead this country. They've shown that they are just a bunch of leaders who are just there for their own personal interest and just like satisfy their personal and selfish aggrandizement. That is just what they are in there for. Ever since this government came on board, we've never noticed, we've never seen joy in the faces of Nigeria. Laughter has disappeared since this government called APC came on board. It's from one problem to the other. Even the previous government is even better than the current one. The previous government of late President Muhammadu Buhari is recorded so many successes in as much as he was also incompetent, and the very fact that Nigeria also never expected that they would see any government as worse as the late President Muhammadu Buhari's government. But Tinubu came on board and has shown us that even President Muhammadu Buhari's government is one of the best, and Nigerians should even thank God that they were even able to see or maybe like have some sigh of relief under the previous government. We never knew that someone would come who would be as worse, even times 100 than the previous administration. It felt like, oh, the fact that he has made money and he has the power already, he's made so many names, he's just coming to come and salvage this country, fix this country, and ensure that he gives us the dividends of democracy, not knowing that he's coming for his own selfish interests. Look at the insecurity going on in the country now, and you can hear how every quarter of the country is blasting and lambasting his incompetent government for the ills and the problems that is bedeviling this nation. Economic wise, Nigeria is going down the drain. Security wise, Nigeria is being overridden, and that's in terms of basic amenities. Nigerians are crying for just to have stable electricity, and we cannot even afford it. Nigerians are dying of hunger every day, and to eat, we're having like 2 square meal under the previous administration, but a square meal today is a problem in this current dispensation. That's to tell you how far this government has failed Nigerians and how far they've disappointed Nigerians. That's the reason why so many leaders across the country, from the west like the Afenifere leader, and from the north like like from the northern leaders and all understand, lambasting him and telling him that his government has failed Nigerians and that he's no longer needed and he's not even supposed to even say he'll be on the ballot come 2027 because Nigerians are not ready to vote him and Nigerians are not going to vote him. But the very singular thing that is even making me so like amazed of this government is the very fact that they have the balls and the nerves to say that they want to come and contest in 2027 and they want to be on the ballot and they'll win at all costs because of their achievement. And then that this beckoned me to ask, what are these achievements these people are going to use in campaigning for their 2027 election? They have almost the 36 governors on their side. They have a few persons on their side and they have INEC on their side. But the people, the masses, they are not on their side. And the masses are the ones that are going to vote. So I don't know what their plans are or what they feel like that is giving them, emboldening them to feel like it's going to be a walkover for them come 2027. Nigerians are ready and Nigerians are going to show their true color at the poll come 2027 because the APC government has disappointed Nigeria, and that is it. Drop what you think about this in the comment section, and if today is your first time to visit our channel, please kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel.